back from a business trip. My husband deleted all social media posts about me. His close female friend explained that I am divorced and he deleted them because he was afraid of irritating me. Sis not angry. I'll let him repost them. Hubby frowned. My own social media posts. Delete also do not need other people agree to it. I was stunned and nodded my head in recognition. I'm not saying that I don't need anyone else's permission to delete my social media posts. Since it's a welcome dinner for me, it's okay for me to call a few close guy friends to help out. Right? The booth instantly fell into dead silence. The phone I picked up was jerked out and dropped on the table. Zachary Chase frowned. We're all having a good time. And you have to say something to ruin it? Jess Sue takes his arm. She arched her eyebrow. Sis, don't be annoyed. Zachary Chase and I have been close since we were kids. Someone at the table laughs. It's true. Sis. Don't be mad. If they really didn't have anything going on, Chi wouldn't be chasing after you like crazy. That's right. G doesn't like Jess Sue. She looks like she's annoyed. She threw the napkin she wiped her mouth with on the table at the person who spoke. What are you talking about? At the table, there was a lot of laughter. Everyone's in a good mood. Except me. Jess Sue sighed. The little girl with crocheted hair got off the table, gently tugging Zachary Chase's cuff. Uncle. Is that auntie not happy? The 4 or 5-year-old girl beamed. Zachary Chase immediately put down his glass of wine and picked her up and coaxed her gently. When he raised his head again, he had narrowed his eyes. Late Elm. Don't scare the child. My eyes met the little girl in his arms. She grinned. Spits her tongue at me. Zachary Chase pinched her white cheek. His voice lowered. Sophie, can you take care of mommy later? The little girl shouted. Uncle and I will take care of mommy from now on. In the private room. Everyone laughed out loud along with Sophie's childish voice. A waiter took the flower and exploded it with a bang. They yell. Congratulations to Jess Wee for being single again. In the corner. The waiter's sympathetic gaze fell on my face and I realized. The welcome dinner was real. But it wasn't me who picked it up. Take back the transferred cell phone from the table. I smile softly. Excuse me. Get me another room. One that's exactly the same size as this table. Zachary Chase chased me out. His eyebrows clamped shut. Lin Lan Yu. What are you doing? Can't we just have a good meal? Must discussion of everyone's face are difficult to see? He looked me up and down. How come I'm back from a trip and I don't know any better? Jess is divorced. And unlike you, we've been together since childhood. So it's hard not to be a little special to her. So you have to understand. I'm understanding. Of course I understand. I'm getting divorced soon. My close guy friends may be special to me too. Compassion. Zachary Chase froze. The door to the private room was pushed open. The little girl trotted out and hugged Zachary Chase's leg. Uncle. Sophie misses you. She tilted her head and looked at me. Sophie ground. Smiled 2 pair swirls. Mommy misses you too. In the corridor. The atmosphere fell into a weird for a while. The little girl continued to shake Zachary Chase's leg and pouted. Only then did he rub her head. Sophie, good boy. You go back first. Uncle take care of things first. Okay? The door to the private room pushed open again. Jess Sue poked her face out and smiled. Sis. Zhao Gao. You two haven't finished discussing. This vocabulary used is interesting. Discussion. She looks like she is very distressed and walks out to pick Sophie up. Sis, if you have to discuss. Zhao Hua. You should go back first. Don't have an after party with us. Our relationship. Missing a meal won't make a difference. Sophie, good boy. Say goodbye to Uncle. The words fell. The little girl began to choke. Uncle. Goodbye. Zachary Chase changed his face almost instantly, receiving the small child into his arms. Lin Lan Yu. If you want to go, you can go first. I have not seen an adult who even eats the vinegar of a small child. He pulled open the door of the box and went in. Jess-Sue hugged her arm with one hand and smiled. I can understand what Sis is worried about, but it's really not necessary. Zhao Gao and I, from childhood to adulthood, have a good relationship. Really want to be together. Have long been together. Her eyes are provocative that only women can understand. Pulled open the private rooms, and replaced with a smile like a flower. Rarely do we gather so together. Tonight. Do not get drunk and do not return. In the private room, shouts of cheers soon emerged. The unique voice of a child was mixed in. The anger of the gamblers was instantly wiped out. When I returned home, the suitcase I used on my business trip was still on the doorstep. On the table were the flowers that Zachary Chase had given me when he picked me up. My wife finally came back. Together in the evening, we pick up the wind. When I arrived at the winery, my first reaction was that it was a bit spread out. Zachary Chase, a little unnatural look away. Reception can be used a few times, but in my line of work, I have to travel a lot. At that time, I did not understand what he said. In retrospect, the more irritated. The phone rang and the voices of friends came. Evening, sister. Booked such a big table. Why don't you come on? In the background sound, the cheers of small children rang out. Mom and Dad. I want to eat ice cream. On the other end, there was the laughter of Jess-Sue. Zhao Gao. This time it's a fulfillment of being a father. Zachary Chase's voice was tinged with laughter. Sophie has already eaten so much ice. If you don't eat today, you can eat tomorrow. Okay? Uncle will buy it for you. My friend was on the phone. Evening, sister. That man looks a bit like your husband. Ah. The winery. I still did not choose to go back. When Zachary Chase came home, the clock was already past 3 in the morning. How come you're still up? The lunch box in his hand rested on the table. Just in time. Jess was afraid you were hungry and asked me to come back and bring it to you. The line of sight crossed the transparent lunch box. Zachary Chase opened the box and put it in front of me. Green matcha mousse. Right in the center. Not too big a piece had been scooped out. His expression freezes. It took a few moments before he tried to explain. When packing, I took 2 portions. Sophie was hungry and said she wanted to eat it in the car, so I probably took the wrong one when I got off. Didn't take the wrong one. I clicked on the hollow center. The green cover, plus the changed heart. Sue Jess expressed not this. Zachary Chase frowns. A child taking a bite of cake is just a bite of cake. It's not so overinterpreted. I raised my eyes. Overinterpretation? Then what is an overinterpretation? When I see you and Jess-Sue sleeping in the same bed? Zachary Chase's eyes flashed with panic. What sleeping together? You've been poisoned by novels. Right? He frowned. If you are in a bad mood, then calm down before talking. Guessing these nonsense. I think you are really out of stupidity on a business trip. He accelerated his pace. Simply closed the door of the second bedroom. Looking at the mousse that was plucked out a piece. My heart. Gradually sinking. Early in the morning. My phone rang. A stranger's friend request to add. Passed and instantly pulled into a small group. 6. Wow. Sis. That didn't really cause you guys to fight. Did it? I didn't respond. The other party sent another voice. A small child with a sleepy voice. Is it Daddy? Sophie is awake. Why doesn't Daddy sleep with Mommy? 1 minute and 59 seconds. The voice bar was withdrawn in a pinch. Jess's voice was tentative. Just now it was Sophie who took my cell phone. The little kid didn't wake up and talked nonsense. Sis. You didn't hear it. Did you? She smiled and laughed. And sent a few more. Zhao brother loves Sophie. Children. It is inevitable and Zhao brother close to. But don't worry, sis. I have my limits. Sis is here. Not only me. Sophie. I won't let her get too close to Zhao brother. Sophie's aggravated whimper was faintly heard over there. In the small group. The others were silent. Soon. A faintly hoarse voice of Zachary Chase came out. Jess. What nonsense. Sophie, don't cry. You'll always be important to Uncle. The group. Silence again. But through the screen. I also felt the subtle reaction of the group. I smiled. Sorry for mistakenly entering your mom and dad's family group. A voice comes from the second bedroom. Zachary Chase jerks the door open and runs out. Face shocked. Zachary. Who pulled you into the group? Who could it be? Zachary Chase knows in his heart. The thought probably passed through his stomach twice. He calmed down. Jess meant no harm. Growing up, she had a big personality and was probably trying to pull you into the group to get you to fit in. My fingers. Rubbing the screen of my phone. The name of the group on the page was interesting. Miss Sue and her dogs. The handsome man frowned. I'm going out today. Jess just got back from her divorce and Sophie's kindergarten isn't set yet. Just going to help out. So don't talk about the haves and have-nots. Zachary Chase sighs. Jess and I. We really don't have anything. I quietly scrutinize Zachary Chase's movements. He turns and goes to the restroom, meticulously shaving the stubble on his face. A message rang through the group. The little girl seemed to sober up and giggle. Uncle's beard must be cleanly shaved. Or else it'll kill Sophie. The man's movement paused. Holding the cell phone. His eyebrows were gentle. I do not know what to say to anyone. Soon. The group resounded with the voice of Jess's big grin. Dogs. Today to Sophie to do a good job. The evening out about wine. There was a pause. She also added a sentence. Be sure to take a good vacation with the sis at home. Oh. Silence in the group. As if alive. One after another. I know people. Flying in the group to send one. Zachary Chase was out the door. Soon he sent another message to my cell phone. Luxury brand handbag is on new. Want it? Disguised as a plea for peace. I was too lazy to respond. The familiar counterkeeper sent a message in the next second. MS. Lynn. The new models you booked have arrived. In the video. Carrying a bag with white gloves. The small child is not far away with a shoulder bag. And is signaling to the man in front of him. Uncle. This looks good. I turned off the video. Reply to her. I don't need delivery today. I'll go pick it up. I can't tell you how it feels. People like us. Even if we fall apart. We shouldn't discussion too hard. But I still drove to the mall. The children's play area. Mommy and Daddy, I want to play this. Little girls of 4 or 5 years old. Carrying luxury brand handbag duffel bags. Ran around happily. Jess Sue held Zachary Chase's arm. Tilted her head. Then you have to ask Dad to buy you. Oh. The little girl immediately ran to Zachary Chase with joy. Tilting her head up. Daddy. Can I do it? What a cozy scene. Unfortunately. There is one more me. The 4 eyes are facing each other. Zachary Chase's smile was frozen on his face. Sue realized that she had let go of his arm. Sis. This is a habit that I developed before I got married. But I don't mean anything else. The little girl also beamed. Auntie. Why do Mom and Dad have to separate every time I see you? I squatted down. I touched the little girl's hair under Zachary Chase's nervous look. Because I am your father's wife. Inside the arena. It was quiet for 3 seconds. 3 seconds later. The little girl broke out into a shrill cry. You're bullshitting. Mom clearly said that as long as I do what she says. Dad will be mine from now on. It's mine alone. He's my new dad. And his wife can only be my mom. You're bullshitting. Auntie bad. She cried, her little face in tears. Still did not forget to make enough energy to push me. You bad. I stood up. Zachary Chase has already blackened his face. What are you doing talking to a child about this? Sue blocked the child behind. Anxious, already red eyes. Sis. No matter how much you dislike me, there is no need to bring along a small child. Yes. I lengthened my voice. Using a small child for adult matters is indeed shameless. Sue stared in dismay. Zachary Chase's expression was ugly. Lin Lan Yu. Stop discussing. He seems to be doing his best to hold back. Jess came back from a divorce. A woman with a child. Northridge is just a few of our friends. Help a little help. As for discussion into this. The little girl covered her eyes and was still whimpering. In the mall. Many people stopped to watch. Jess' angry red eyes. Sis. Even if you want to maintain the marriage. My Sophie is only 5 years old. As for such stalking and intimidation, I was so impressed by her ability to avoid the important issues that I couldn't help but applaud. The child is 5 years old. How old is the child's mom? So you went to the play area after hanging out with my husband and I all night. The crowd. Some people laughed out loud. Sue was trembling. Holding the child also followed the amplified voice crying heartbreaking. Zachary Chase pulled me. Exasperated. This is a public place. Don't you feel ashamed? What have I got to be ashamed of? Am not the one who cheated on him. I shrugged off his hand. You might as well think about how humiliating the Chi family will be when the scandal breaks. I turned to leave. Sent a message to luxury brand handbags counterkeeper. The new models for the next quarter are out. And they will be sent directly to my house. Netizens are extremely fast. One afternoon. The peach color news of the young master of the Chi family was on the local hotspot. The impact caused. Can be seen. Zachary Chase's parents called us back. Jasmine had just reached her mouth when suddenly someone smashed the ashtray. There was a snap. The Persian cat, under the table, was startled. Eunuch clamped his eyebrows together. Discussion so big. Zachary Chase. What the hell is going on? My hand paused. My mother-in-law looks at me purposefully. I lower my eyes and blow gently. New tea this year. Tastes good. The man beside me tries to explain. Dad. It's not like you don't know Jess. And Jess wouldn't have left me alone if the tables were turned. At the table, there was a moment of silence. The father-in-law speaks up. The kid. What's going on? Zachary Chase's look of relief. That is Jess divorced brought back. Dad. The child is still small. Just simply like me, there is no bad intentions. Such a small thing. No one to push. How can discussion so big? Eunuch's fingers tapped on the desktop. I simply put down my teacup and picked up the Persian cat under the coffee table to tease it. The kitten made a purring sound. Only then did I laugh softly. Dad. Mom. Go out for some air. My father-in-law has been in the shopping mall for many years. Inciting public opinion. Originally, I did not want to hide from him. I just didn't expect that the old man would also lose his temper. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that. Just took a few steps. The door of the villa pushed open. A small child ran in happily. Uncle. Uncle. My mom and I are here to find you. Jess Sue was carrying a gift box. Her eyes met mine and she seemed a bit surprised. She smiled afterward. I came to see Uncle Aunt. Sis. What a coincidence. It is not a coincidence. Sent a circle back to the old house only visible to her. Jess Sue is a baba chasing after me. How can this be a coincidence? I turned back to see Sophie already in Zachary Chase's arms. Pampering herself. My mother-in-law's smile, little by little, froze on her face. I stroked the soft fur of the cat in my arms. Simply walked back and sat on the sofa. A guest in the house. Huh? I'll stay with you a little longer then. Zachary Chase looks at me and a hint of panic flashes across his brow. Why did you come at this time? Jess Sue naturally put her things away. And when she heard this she paused and discreetly glanced at me. I came to see Uncle Aunt. Sis. Not so much that this is misunderstood. The next moment, Sophie jumped into his arms. Dad. It's me who misses you. Zachary Chase's face was a little hard to see. After hesitating for a moment, he still dragged Sophie's body, afraid that he would fall down. Jess you. Granny's bracelet. Knocked on the marble desktop. How can this child just call his father? The kitten in my arms, like being scared, jumped to the ground. Sophie screamed, holding Zachary Chase's neck and not letting go. Mom and Dad. Cat scratching. The scene. A mess. Late Elm. Gong Gong called out to me and took a deep breath before he pressed the words. The Chi family is not good. It is not good for you. I bent down. Picked up the Persian cat on the floor. It seems that my mother-in-law can't keep a cat when she has a granddaughter. In that case, my daughter-in-law will help take it away. The mother-in-law was astonished. White face but didn't say anything. I walked out of the old house. In my heart, I understood the desired answer. Perhaps the mother-in-law was kept in the dark. But the father-in-law, to Zachary Chase's attitude, is not like nothing. Behind me, there were footsteps coming after me. Zachary Chase face ugly. Where are you going? I did not say anything. Calmly looking at him. Zachary Chase's nose tip gradually sweat seeped out. Don't think nonsense. Okay. Wait for me. I finished this side of the home together. I and you explain clearly. Sue Jess's last marriage was to Seabrook. Right. He froze. He mumbled, unable to speak. I smiled. Seabrook. 5 years ago. Was accompanied by Jess Sue who just had a baby? Zachary Chase instantly went white. I turned around. Not interested in listening to the story he made up again. Returned to the house with Zachary Chase. Organized the important information available at hand. The security door is quickly pulled open and Zachary Chase bursts in. Panting. Late Elm. He grabs my hand. Jess and I haven't done anything out of the ordinary. What's your hurry? I push his hand away. Zachary Chase was dumbfounded. Froze halfway before trying to stop me in my tracks. You're not angry? Being angry changes the fact that you cheated on me? He was anxious. There is no cheating. Jess' mother and daughter just returned to Northridge. I can't stand by and watch. He said in the middle of the dumb fire. You are cold to me because of those social media posts? Evening Elm. Can't we always be happy and look at Jess sad? Right? I can't do such a hurtful thing between friends. He was getting more and more confident. He tugged at his tie in annoyance. From the mall. Discussion to my home. Almost enough. Husband and wife. 2 people. 1 honor and 1 loss. I don't believe you don't know. I looked at the appraisal report just sent on the cell phone. Face color. More and more calm down. Not necessarily. Zachary Chase froze. One-sided eyebrow tail raised. What did you say? The words hadn't even left his mouth. His phone rang. Jess's panicked voice came from inside. Zhao Gao. Sophie has been frightened by the cat and has a fever. What should I do? He immediately stood up. Don't panic. They'll be right there. He turned around hastily. Before leaving the door, he hesitated for a moment and looked at me again. Sophie is sick. I just go to. I know. I interrupted him. You and Sue Jess. The relationship is simple. Just to help friends. Zachary Chase was stunned. When I come back. Arrange their affairs. I will keep you well. In the room. I was left alone. I suddenly remembered my first meeting with Zachary Chase 5 years ago. In Seabrook. He smelled of disinfectant laced on his body. The moment he saw me, his eyes glowed. MS. Lynn, may I have the honor of a dance? At the reception, he emphasized emphatically that I was currently single and had no scandal. Gathering up the documents in the room, I turned to leave. The marital property is not small. The remaining can only be handed over to a lawyer to do asset division as soon as possible. The negative impact spread on the internet was squashed into silence by my father-in-law. For a whole week, Zachary Chase disappeared completely. Even my cell phone did not ring once. I don't know if he was too happy around Jess Sue or simply forgot that he had a wife at home. But fortunately, a week is enough time for the lawyers to divide up the marital property. Drafted the petition and handed it to the court. This time, my phone finally rang. Zachary Chase's voice was urgent. Lin Lan Yu. Sue me. Are you crazy? My fingers rubbed the social media posts that Zachary Chase had just posted. In the kindergarten, Family Day was enthusiastic. Zachary Chase is taking Sophie to stack blocks again. The blocks are tall. The tallest in the room. A family of 3. Smiling sweetly in the video. I like the video. My cell phone is ringing. And the sound of laughter is being cut to shreds. Calm down. Will you? I'm coming home now. Let's talk. The phone is cut off. The sea breeze blows around me. A man turned back beside me. Mr. Lin. Is it a vacation to the beach? Or are you hiding things? I smiled and picked up the orange juice. Neither. You give me the project so I can go back to settle family matters without worries. The man laughed at his side. Assistant handed over the agreement. The other party simply signed. Mr. Lin. Young age. A great deal. Orange juice and red wine. Yo-yo touch each other. My phone rings. Zachary Chase's voice with panic. You are not at home? Auntie said you left a long time ago and never came back. Where are you? They'll pick you up and we'll talk. The wind off the beach. It's a bit harsh. I reached out to block it. Talk about what? Mock trial? Or a pre-trial orientation for you? Zachary Chase inhaled deeply. Evening Elm. Believe it or not, I hadn't been in contact with Jess prior to her divorce. Including at Seabrook. He paused. That time it was Jess's ex-husband who couldn't be with her in labor. So I went. I hung up dryly. Heard the lie too much. Tired. The timing was pinpointed. Before the trial. The project took. Just got off the plane. and there was Zachary Chase's face. It wasn't a surprise to find out where I was going. Late Elm. He followed up quickly, with stubble on his face and tiredness. Why didn't you tell me you went out of town? I've been looking for you all day. He took my bags. Dad has already told me. It's my fault for not thinking things through and not having a sense of boundaries. But you know, I just pitted the mother and daughter. I stood still, scanning his entire body up and down. It's amazing to see Zachary Chase's true nature for the first time when you take away the relationship filter. You didn't read the evidence packet the court sent you? Zachary Chase is stunned. I moved on, and he hurried to catch up with me. Spare a man and spare a man. Compared to you, the mother and daughter are already miserable. I help properly. Late Elm. Don't discussion go on. If you don't withdraw the case, what if it really goes to court? I laughed out loud. Simply take the luggage in his hand and drag it yourself. Have time to beg for peace. Why not go and look at the information given to the defendant? Mr. G. Nowadays society. Private investigators aren't exactly hard to find. Zachary Chase did have 2 rooms out there this week. But it was 1 room for Sophie. 1 for the 2 of them. Disgusting. It was 2 days before the trial. Zachary Chase tried to contact me again and again. I got tired of it. So I just blacked out. I don't think there's anything left to talk to him about except the property that needs to be fought for on court. Follow up on the project back. Familiar figure waiting downstairs. Zachary Chase greets me. Throat rolling, but half speaking. I go around, only to be stopped by him crossing his arms. Late Elm. His face was tinged with bitterness. Those days, I was drunk before it happened. What kind of drink? 7 days of great drunkenness? Zachary Chase froze, dumbfounded for half a day. He finally panicked and handed out his cell phone. I'm out of that group. And Jess' contact info is cleanly deleted. So you can read it. I don't reach out. Confrontation for a long time. Zachary Chase broke the defense. You are not the only man in the premarital period. I am not the only man. Drink too much things. In the end, what is good to count? Don't be too being overly sensitive, okay? I stepped closer to him. I've been with other men all week. Zachary Chase froze. The next moment, red eyes. What did you say? Mr. Chase. Are you okay with this? He subconsciously blurted out. How can you and I be the same? I'm a man, and I don't suffer. I laughed coldly. Suddenly felt how superfluous it was to stand here. Stop here, Zachary Chase. Entangled. You make me feel sick. The man, standing still, whitened slightly. I walked past him. Suddenly, I remembered the words I read somewhere. There's really no difference between having a scum-like ex and having a record. Enough to be remembered for life. Mr. G is a man who wants to keep his face. With his constraints. Before the trial, Zachary Chase most likely will not discuss an accident again. However, Jess Sue is not within his constraints. She sat across from me. And before close female friends, attire is very different. She was specially dressed up, with elegance and grace. I glanced at the time. Ms. Sue, you only have 3 minutes. Jess's smile froze. The coffee in her hand still swirling with the spoon. Sophie, it's Zachary Chase's child. I looked at her. So? Jess Sue snorted coldly. I heard Brother Zhao say that you have no plans to have a child. Zhaogua is an only child. You can't break the roots of the Qi family. Jess Sue tilted her chin slightly. So, Brother Zhao won't disown Sophie. Oh. I nod my head. 3 minutes are over. MS. Sue. Goodbye. I stand up. Jess Sue furiously followed and got up. Lin Lan Yu, can you understand how you do it? It's useless. I stood and fixed my body. Is MS Sue showing off her perfect female function? Is giving birth to a man any capital that can be taken out to show off? Not to mention. I lengthened my voice. Are you sure Sophie is Zachary Chase's? Her voice screeched to a halt. Stuttering and staring at me. You. What are you babbling about? I smile. Nothing. I am glad to meet with MS Sue today. Push open the glass door of the coffee shop. A woman behind me shouted. Even if you use divorce to make Zhao regret, it is useless. Lin Lan Yu. I walked towards the company. Suddenly admired Jess Su's brain circuit. With me, love, marriage, can be used as a stepping stone for money, but not children. The prerequisite for having children is a stable family relationship and sufficient material resources. You can't have one without the other. What I told Zachary Chase was, marriage is fine, but I don't want kids. Because I have a feeling you're not ready to be a father. Zachary Chase tucked the rose into my arms. Okay. It's all up to the wife. On the day of the trial, it rained heavily in Northridge. The legal team fought for my best asset division interests. Divorce cases for businessmen are not good. Teams on both sides. In order to fight for the property. Quarrelsome. A girl's crunchy shout suddenly came from the audience. Dad, quickly win. Take me and Mom back to Grandma's house. Court. Instantly quiet. The little girl was muffled. My legal team took out a recording. Sophie is Zachary Chase's child. I heard from Zhao Gao that you have no plans to have children. Brother Zhao is an only child. You can't cut off the roots of the Qi family. So, Brother Zhao won't disown Sophie. Sophie is Zachary Chase's child. I heard from Brother Zhao that you have no plans to have a child. Brother Zhao is an only child. You can't break the Qi family's roots. So, Zhao won't disown Sophie. Over and over again. On a loop. Zachary Chase on the table changed his face. Jess Sue hurriedly waved her hand. No. Not. The other side's lawyers testify to illegal recordings. My legal team, however, put away the recorder, the Bentong recording, and did not submit it as a chain of evidence. Solid open evidence. Plus Jess Sue's staged and clever grandstanding nailed the fact that Zachary Chase was the party at fault. The asset division was debated for a long time, and the final decision was made. As the at-fault party, Zachary Chase property compensation. I got 70% of the marital property. The moment I walked out of the courthouse, the sky cleared. Zachary Chase followed me with a look of unprecedented bewilderment. Late Elm. How did we get to this point? Jess is divorced. I really just want to help. I didn't mean to. A large number of reporters. Swarming. Microphones all disliked Zachary Chase's face. Mr. Chi. May I ask if that girl in the mall is really your love child? Is it a divorce case that your husband and wife are fighting today? May I ask Mr. Chi if this situation will have an impact on the Chi family's business? The little girl cried with a wow sound. She was hurriedly picked up by Jess Sue. Spotlights were directed at the mother and daughter. And Jess Sue was furious. Who let you interview? All go away. Go away! I walked down the other side of the steps. Ladies and gentlemen elites. It's been a hard day's work. We've arranged entertainment for you all to relax together. This time, the media exposure has set the Chi family on fire again. Along with that, the things that were suppressed by Master Chi last time have also been rehashed. The internet had a memory. The common people might not care which tycoon has a few more love children. But when it comes to marriage, a third party, it becomes an object that everyone wants to eat. For a time, the Chi family stood on top of the wind and waves. In the clubhouse, there were people waiting there early. A man stood up and gave me a blank look. Really good awe. Lin evening you. Married and immediately disconnected from me. Want me to work before you think of me? Right. Even the hotel have to I pick good for you. The lawyer team took their seats. I just laugh. Close guy friend. Married is to have a little sense of boundaries. My best friend's eyes rolled up to the back of her head. Simply far away from me. As the night wore on, the group of lawyers dispersed in twos and threes. Close guy friend only came close to me. IKEA's stock dropped today. And the retail stock picked up a lot of leakage. Tell me, how much did you get? Anyone can't imagine. A little public opinion. Press it down and have it again. I do not know where the gods hired a large number of water army. The IKEA family thinks pickpocket clean. It's almost as if the old man walked and spat on the ground and then attacked him again. The Chi family's stock has fallen again and again. Girlfriends complained. You this point of cheating on a man to get the property. But also enough to bring a public opinion. Early Monday morning. Northridge's latest financial news. The youngest member of the Chi family has been removed from the corporate core team. In other words, no surprise. No more possibility of taking over the business. Second Monday. Board meeting. The lawyer put the document on the desktop. MS. Lin. Holding 51% of the shares. The pool old man suddenly stood up. Lin evening you. I took off my sunglasses. What's wrong? Dad? He covered his chest and fell back into the chair gasping for breath. My girlfriend raised her eyes. And the assistant immediately led the physician to run in. Examined him. And stuffed 10 pills into the old man's mouth. I frowned. Trying to imitate his previous appearance. Dad. It's just a change of times. What is discussion so big for? Lin Lan Yu. On the video phone. Someone yelled. Close guy friend plug his ears. Kindly help you live. If you do not want to see it. Turn it off. Before his finger fell on the screen. Suddenly something comes to mind. Oh yeah. There's something I forgot to ask. The girlfriend smiled. MS. Sue's daughter in the end. Do you know who it is? On the screen. Zachary Chase angrily didn't respond. The girlfriend simply hung up the phone. An hour later. An enthusiastic netizen raked up the relationship history of the third sister of Kai's former proprietor. It was so exciting that it included half of Seabrook's entrepreneurs. The reason for the divorce was also revealed by a close friend of her ex-husband. MS. Ko was caught in bed with her ex-husband and found out that her daughter is not her own. But it's hard to say whose child Sophie is. It's hard to say. It's not as bad as the family. Some people discuss it privately. But no one uses that as a way to attack. On the advice of my girlfriends, I contacted a lawyer. I filed a lawsuit for marital fraud. Honestly, in this case, I don't have much chance of winning. Even if my marriage is annulled. It's just the difference between single and divorced. To me, it's of no use. But I have a low sense of morality. And I like to see people I hate in trouble with the law. On a business trip to the beach. Close guy friend is hugging Persian cat. Petting him a little bit. See who your best friend is. And see if you'll ever work out with me again. I paused. I told him that if we got married, we'd probably break off. My best friend froze. angry eyebrows flying. I quickly pulled him to beg forgiveness. But successful women do not consider marriage. I have a house, a car, a ticket, and a cat. What kind of person would walk into a marriage with such a life? My best friend gave me a blank look. This is more or less the same. There's no IKEA to worry about. The days went by very fast. But soon, my social media post exploded. Countless people had tweeted me under the post. From Jess Sue. She even posted a picture of herself and Zachary Chase when they were kids. Telling everyone plainly. She met Zachary Chase first. She didn't say it explicitly in the post. But she implied that I am the third party who ruined the relationship. The post ends with a tearful plea. What happens to adults has nothing to do with children. So I hope everyone will leave the children alone. Don't let such a small child suffer online harassment. As a matter of fact, on the day of the court hearing, I never counted the child in. Who would have thought that Jess Sue would bring her child to see the divorce scene of the businessman? But this time, I didn't wait for anyone on my side to make a move. Chivalrous people on the internet spontaneously teamed up to respond. No one has ever harassed a child online, suggesting that some people should not post these to play poor. Extramarital affairs are scary, and not knowing which man you gave birth to within the marriage is even scarier. Contemporary netizens have brains. Please don't overconsume the lady about the child. Thank you. Quickly. Jess Sue deleted the post. Girlfriend slapped her thighs behind me. This woman. She's not here to disgust you because Zachary Chase won't have her. The white cat leaped off his lap. The white cat jumped down from his lap. His eyebrows arched. Sis, don't be annoyed. Zachary Chase and I have been close since we were kids. I picked up the cat and scratched its nose. It's sad to be this woman's child. A warm sea breeze blew through. The white cat's fur is swept out in waves. The little one squints comfortably. Late you. Does it have a name? I don't think so. Then let's call it Restless. Self-improvement. Let's go. Little Restless. Uncle will take you to the sea.